Hi, everyone, and welcome to this latest session of Ask Dr. Sharon. I'm Sharon Walt, the Hashimoto Health Coach, and I'm delighted that you're joining me today, either watching live or maybe you're watching the replay. Anyways, the reason behind the Ask Dr. Sharon series is to answer any questions you might have about autoimmune conditions in general and Hashimoto's in particular. And I get a lot of the questions from my clients, from some of my social media followers, and also from friends and family as well. And today I wanted to talk about supplements. Now, I've talked about this before, but I wanted to hone in on why your supplement may not be working. Okay, this can be quite a big deal. So, just getting into it, supplements are very big business, and many people spend a huge amount of money every month buying various supplements to address their health issues. And I think this is mainly because they are so frustrated with the progress of getting or feeling better. But are the companies making the supplements, are they actually providing an alternative, or are they just providing an expensive dose of hope? So, in the news last week, there was yet another report on the efficacy of taking supplements for either to improve your general health or more specifically to address a particular health problem. And this would be rather than using some of the more traditional medicines and treatments. And the reports usually focus on the lack of scientific evidence to support supplement use. Now, while there's a lot of evidence regarding the active ingredients in supplements, it's true that there isn't much evidence about specific supplements. And there is quite a big difference between the active ingredient that has been tested and what ends up in the pill or the tablet or the gel. But before I go down that particular rabbit hole, let's discuss some more general considerations about supplements and how effective they are and what you can do about it. So, have you ever gone into a huge chemist shop or a pharmacy and just been blown away by the sheer number of supplements on offer? Usually there's aisles and aisles. How do you decide? It's confusing, and I get this. I get confused going in there as well. Is not all supplements are the same, even though they have very similar names and ingredients. Many are marketed by price point, and by price point, it's not just by offering the cheapest option. There is a whole psychology in pricing to target certain types of people. So choosing by price isn't a good guide for the quality of the product. Now, some market by brand name recognition, so we just get bombarded with ads. And again, how heavily a supplement is advertised is also not a good indicator. In fact, one of the most popular and well-known multivitamins is very, very difficult to break down and absorb, so it's actually pretty useless. So, what makes a good supplement? Okay, there are a lot of things that we can talk about, but I just want to talk about the top 3 or 4. So the first thing is you're looking at quality ingredients. Are the ingredients in the best form for ready absorption? So remember, anything that you take in through the mouth, it not only you have to digest it, you also have to absorb it so it gets into your bloodstream and can be distributed. So if there's a block in either one of those, you are not going to get the nutrition that's available in that supplement. Now, for example, minerals, so this is part of your multivitamin or supplements that are mostly minerals, they typically need good stomach acid in order to be broken down. And if you have Hashimoto's, your ability to produce stomach acid can be diminished. So you need minerals to be in a form that are most easily digested and absorbed. And this form is called a chelated mineral complex. So look for the term chelated in the ingredient list. And don't settle for minerals that are in are called inorganic mineral salts. These are usually a lot less pricey, and you will see them in the ingredient list as oxides, carbonates, sulfates, and phosphates. So in fact, there's evidence that mineral salts, so these particular types of mineral forms, bind with dietary fiber and then are not absorbed. So if you're on a fiber-rich diet, and a lot of people now find that with increasing plant foods, you're going to have more fiber in your diet, you may find yourself actually in a mineral deficit, even though you're taking supplements, because they're in the wrong form, they're binding with the fiber, and are just going right through you. Okay, so first thing to look for is the quality of the ingredients. The next thing to look for is a term called its bioavailability. Now, again, this is related to breaking down a supplement, but it also needs to break down in the right part of the digestive system. We don't want it to break down and be destroyed by stomach acid in the stomach. So the coating of the supplement, or the formulation of it, is important. Does it withstand the stomach and dissolve in the small intestine, or does it just pass through again? So again, you might want to look on the label. On the label, it should say something about the bioavailability of the product. Now, the next thing to look for are the ingredients in the right combination for absorption. So many vitamins and minerals need to be combined with others in order to be absorbed. So to give you some examples here, most of our B vitamins need magnesium to be absorbed. So not only does magnesium need to be present, it needs to be in the right form. And again, just harking back to Hashimoto's, in a lot of cases, we find that magnesium, people can be in a deficit there. Another example is vitamin D. Now, it needs vitamin K, magnesium, and zinc present in order to be absorbed. It's also fat soluble, which means it needs to be, you have to have some fat in your diet in order for it to be absorbed as well. Now, the better forms of vitamin D supplements are already combined with vitamin K, and this assumes that you're getting the rest of it in your diet in sufficient quantities. Now, these are the most important consideration, but another is some confirmation that what's on the label is actually in the supplement and in the listed dosage. Almost all good manufacturing practices for safety, so you see that on the label, GMP. Most supplements have to adhere to that. That is the law in many countries. But a better check would be third-party independent testing of the supplements. So that means that they're checking not only that the ingredients are actually in the supplement, but also in the right dosage as well. Now, obviously, this is expensive. It's not as common, but if they do this, you will see it. It'll be on the label. Now, for these reasons, I generally avoid buying supplements from the chemist or the pharmacy unless I'm certain that the company follows these good practices. I use and recommend what we call practitioner-only products. This means they need to be prescribed by a recognized health practitioner who can suggest the right product for a particular client. These tend to be a little bit more expensive, but not always. But almost all of them are reputable companies that not only follow good manufacturing processes, but also have some independent testing behind them as well. So you can be sure that you're getting a good quality product. Now, getting back to suggesting the right product for a particular client brings me to probably the most important reasons why a supplement may not be working for you. So let's assume that you've been using a good quality supplement and you're not noticing any improvement in your symptoms. So what can be going on? Well, there's a number of things. The first one is you're not taking them at the right time. And I get this. When you first start taking a supplement, it can be hard to remember to take it. So you take it when you remember, right? But is this the right time? Check the label. Many supplements and all multivitamins need to be taken with meals to ensure best absorption. So if you forget, best to wait until your next meal. Don't take it when you remember. But also, having said that, there are some supplements that need to be taken between meals. So check the label, and at least until you get into the habit of taking them at the right time, you might want to put little notifications around just to remind you when to take it. Okay, so taking it at the right time is really, really crucial. Next thing, you might not be taking the right dosage. Now, when you first start taking a supplement, I always suggest start with the lowest possible dose and then slowly ramp up to either the manufacturer's recommendation or those of your primary medical practitioner. And most importantly, track your symptoms. You may need to adjust the dosage based on your symptoms. Okay. The next thing, and this is probably the one that gets most people, is that you're not taking the right supplement for what you're trying to resolve. Okay. Now, except for the case of a good multi, which I think everyone needs to be taking, if you can't ensure sufficient nutrition through good quality food, you shouldn't take a supplement without knowing or at least suspecting that the supplement will resolve a deficiency that you have. And this may not be easy. So when I work with my clients, I look at their health history to check the progress of their symptoms. I analyze past and current blood test results and any functional test results. From those, I can hypothesize root causes and suspected deficiencies. Then I can recommend a specific supplement. And I always highly recommend tracking the symptoms. And yeah, I get it. That can be really tedious, but in many cases, it is the best way to check on effectiveness. And if you take any other approach, at best, you're wasting your time and money, and at worst, you can actually cause even more problems. Now, I want to leave you with some general recommendations for resolving a very common deficiency that can lead to very different symptoms, and that's a deficiency in magnesium. Now, magnesium has many, many functions in the body, but the one that I see most often is its part in muscle activation and relaxation. Now, our muscles control the dilation of blood vessels. They control peristaltic movement of the digestive system. So some symptoms of magnesium deficiency can be things like muscle cramps, constipation, headaches, and high blood pressure. So taking supplemental magnesium may resolve these symptoms while you investigate the cause behind the deficiency. But here's the key part of it here. Different forms of magnesium have different effects on the body. And this is what I want to share with you. Now, a lot of times I won't make recommendations for supplements without knowing someone's health history behind it, because otherwise you're kind of taking a shot in the dark. But these are really common symptoms here. So there's not too much of a downside in taking magnesium, but you need to have the right form of magnesium to tackle the different symptoms. So for example, if you're suffering from constipation, you would take magnesium citrate. Okay. For muscle cramping, so this is kind of skeletal muscle cramping, and some instances of high blood pressure, you would take either magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate. And for headaches, you would take magnesium threonate. Okay, so these are all different forms, and they will act differently on the different body part. Okay. And like anything else, please track your symptoms, and that's especially important for if you're suffering from high blood pressure. You don't really want to fool around with it, but I know that some of my clients have had some very good results by taking a magnesium supplement, then we have gone through and said, okay, well, why are you deficient in magnesium? And then looked at the root cause that way. Okay. I seem to have kind of gone on a little bit more than I usually do today, but the whole issue of supplements is quite an important one. I know people tend to take them not only because of their frustration, because it tends to be a quick fix. And I've talked before about quick fixes. There are strategic ways of using supplements that will help you resolve a symptom while still trying to determine what has caused that in the first place. Okay, so it's all about the root cause. Okay, really hope that you found this interesting. And if you have some health issues that you want to talk to me about, let's see, I am just going to share my scheduler. You can in the comments and also in the banner here. Okay, what this does is it sends you to my booking diary. You can book a free 20-minute consultation with me, and we can discuss what your next best steps are. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and bye for now.